Welcome everyone to Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed Al Houli, and today we have another banger for you guys. Big guest, my co-host, Mr. Tony Shin, as usual, joins me on the show. Tony, how are you, buddy?
Ahmed, good morning. Another beautiful Tuesday.
Beautiful Tuesday, beautiful show, beautiful guest, Mr. Mateo Tapia. Welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me, guys. It's an honor.
Our utmost pleasure, mate. Mateo, before we get into all the nitty-gritty of all the boxing, mate,
Yeah.
who is Mateo Tapia? Where did it all start?
Where did it all start? Well, started when I was 9. I started because I liked wrestling at the time, and I drove past a boxing gym, and I thought I wanted to wrestle. I was a bit overweight, and then Mum sort of like pushed me into the gym, and yeah, she's like, I don't think it's the wrestling gym. I think the boxing gym. So we went in and asked, and then ended up boxing and lost the weight. And then I fought a year and a half later. So I had my first fight at 11.
Wow. Are you talking like MMA or are you talking WWE?
No, WWE. So,
all the old legendary stuff.
Yeah. John Cena, Ric
Flair. Yeah.
H, I can remember. Shawn Michaels, or all those guys.
What about Hulk Hogan? Is he one of your favourites?
Yeah, he was up there. I think he was gone by the time I was watching.
Yeah. Hey,
here and there.
Now, Mateo, a lot of people would identify you as Australian, but you're actually born in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. I was born in Tijuana, Mexico.
Wow. So, and how did you end up being a naturalised Australian?
So my mum was born here. Long story short, my mum was born here, and they just decided to make the move when I was 3 or 4.
And I presume, or we presume, that you're glad they did.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So you moved out here when you were 3 with your parents, and then just when you turned 11, you started boxing, and all these years later, 15 years later, we find you on the professional circuit.
Yeah. It's been a wild journey, that's for sure.
Yeah, wow. So, well, okay, take us back 6 days when you fought Gonzalez, I think, at the Horton Pavilion.
Yeah.
How did that go down? In your eyes, obviously.
Yeah, it was good. He was tough. I think he was really skilled. I didn't see too much footage of him. You couldn't really gauge how good he was from the opposition he was versing. So I knew I just had to be 100% prepared, and I knew he had a lot of amateur fights, so I knew he was very skilled in that way. So, yeah, I think it was my toughest test to date. But just to pass that with flying colours, to beat another undefeated fighter was a big check in my book.
Well, sorry, I won't go on.
Mateo, you said it's been a wild journey. I want to hear what this wild journey was. Or take me through it. Take me back. Like tell our viewers, because boxing is a very hard journey, Mateo. Boxing is a hard one.
Well, where would you like to start?
I want to know your boxing career, where it is, where it started, so on, and your path to where you are today. Take us through your journey in America. People don't know much about your journey in America, so on.
Yeah, so it started pretty early. I actually I left school when I was, I think, 15, 16.
Yeah.
And I just before that, I did like a trip or two to the States and learnt majority of my boxing in those trips. And I always wanted to go back when I turned professional, and yeah, so I ended up moving over there a year and a half ago to LA. LA wasn't what we thought it was.
How so?
It was too dangerous for us. And like it's nice going there for a holiday, 3-4 days, or maybe a week. But that's max. Like, and we just packed all our bags and left. And they don't make it easy for you, that's for sure. moving
Where'd
over.
you stay? In which area?
We were Marina del Rey, but we were borderline Venice too. So
Okay.
we're right on the cusp of Venice and Marina del Rey. We were staying basically like a block away from the pier. Venice.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah, it's an eye-opening experience. And I don't know where to start. Like, you just get there and you think it's safe, but you're in a gated community too, and it's not. It's so fucking dangerous.
Was this throughout COVID when the homelessness just soared off the charts?
Well, I think this is after COVID, and it's so bad over there. I wouldn't let my wife walk around for 5 minutes by herself, and
What, during the day?
during the day.
Yes.
One of my friends from Australia came over. She's a singer, and we trained a few times there. And she said she was just there by herself, and I just said, just be careful walking around by yourself. Like, you just can't trust anyone over there. I think 2-3 days later, like, she got stalked really bad. Stalked home, followed home, and she booked a ticket home.
Wow. Are you talking knife crime, gun crime, homelessness, everything?
Everything. We're actually lucky we left. We left LA because a week and a half before my recent fight, just then there was a shooter inside the apartment complex, and he's obviously just gone mental, and he's had I think he has like 3 assault rifles in his house, and I've seen videos. There's like 3 hours worth of just like, he just went on a rampage, shooting apartment blocks, shooting other rooms. Lucky he didn't get anyone, but it was just like a blessing in disguise that we got out of there. Well, that was just the tip. We were like, we're so happy we're gone.
So then
I ended up speaking to this guy twice, and then I don't know.
What, you spoke to the shooter?
Yeah, so we met him twice in the apartment complex. Like, everyone was sort of close, but yeah, you didn't think he'll do that. Very, like, insane.
Wow.
So then you moved across the country, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So to Florida.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah. So when I fought there, we sort of fell in love with the place when we got there. We were in Plant. Well, we didn't really fall in love with Plant City, but we went to St. Petersburg a few times, and that's where one of my managers lives. So it just made sense for us, and it's like home. The weather's good. The people are nice. Like, everyone says hi. In LA, it's different. It's like a dog eat dog world there, for me.
Yeah, Plant City is like a time machine. You can go back in time.
Yeah, that was wild.
What is it? Is it white jeans and white loafers and tight t-shirts?
Oh, it was like we went to the grocery store to buy some food. And my wife and I went in, and it was an eye opener. I don't know how to explain it. There was like,
yeah, I can help you there because I've been there and spent some time there.
No teeth, like, it was.
Oh,
yeah, like,
it's old. It's a very average town. I think lots of poverty, I believe, and it's it's literally like going back in time. Like, there's still those old shops, old grocery, old diners, old everything.
Yeah, it's like that. It's a very eye opener.
Is there a majority ethnicity that is in this town?
Pardon?
Is there a majority of ethnic types, whether it be Mexicans, white Americans, African Americans?
It's all white.
Look like you, Tony.
Yeah, good-looking Sydney boys.
Yeah, and we did not fit there. That's for sure.
All right, back onto the boxing. You trained at Fortunes, then you fought at the Pro Box Event Center.
Yeah.
Take us through that experience. But what was that like? So on.
Yeah, it was good. I always told myself when I hit LA, I was gonna see how I liked it, and I needed to make any changes. I fought the Pro Box event, and to be honest, it wasn't my best camp. But I got the win. Otherwise, I got a win against a tough Mexican. He was tough. So, and then after that, we just decided we got to make some changes. You know, I wasn't happy in life in general in LA. So, yeah, we just made the change to go to Florida, and it's a blessing that I have because that place is beautiful, and I fell into the hands of Coach Rick and Coach Jesse, and it's a private gym, so there's no outside noise, black windows, and we just get to work. And the boxing world's actually kind of big there. It's very similar. You got Miami, Orlando close by, and there's lots of fighters around the area.
Absolutely. And then we hear you signed the multi-fight year deal with No Limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, take us through that. You had your debut last week for No Limit. You looked, I think you looked very good. And where you going? Where are we going forward, brother?
I should be in touch with my team. We're looking to get out maybe July, August. Back again.
Here in Australia?
It was a no-brainer going with No Limit. I've known him since I've been little. And I just had enough of the boxing world overseas and like trying to just find fights overseas. And I always tried to do it a different route, basically. And it got to a point where I was like, how long can I keep going like this? Like overseas promoters, like it was just right there for me. The Rose brothers contacted me and they were very interested. And I just said, look, let's sit down and talk. You know, I was very happy to sign with them, and I'm very loyal too. So I'm excited to see what the future holds with No Limit.
Mateo, you're 26, right?
Yeah.
And you've had 17 fights, undefeated. Yep. Do you think you should be more advanced in your career than you are in terms of bouts?
You could say that. I mean, the inactivity I've had through COVID, through the promotional issues, I reckon I should be have a little bit more fights, but in a way, you just can't look at it that way. I just have to go on day by day. And I know I'm ready for the opportunities now. So maybe if like No Limit came to me a couple of years ago and said, do you want to sign, and gave me these fights and I stayed in Australia, I wouldn't be ready. Like I would have lost to that guy on Wednesday night if I didn't move to America and learn what I had the last year and a half.
Wow, that's pretty big for you to say.
Yeah. My skill level it was good, but the amount of training we're doing, the amount of work we're doing, and the amount of skill I'm learning is that's what won me that fight.
Wow, you sound like you're in a very good place at the moment, which is great news. And we're very, very, very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far from all these issues and experiences that you haven't enjoyed so much?
Probably just patience and hold on, and I feel like everything will work out fine. You just have to stay positive, I guess. There was days where I wanted to fucking let it go. I mean, fuck this, I can make money somewhere else, But just constantly looking forward to that dream, looking forward to that goal you set out to do, and trying to stay positive. That's the main thing. And patience is a big one.
And then News Corporation goes and writes an article 10 days, 2 weeks ago and says Australia's best fighter that nobody's ever heard of. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, there's lots of great fighters in the country that a lot of people haven't heard of, but I'm honoured for them to look at me that way. And I'm going to keep proving that they have a really great fighter here.
Does it spur you on? I mean, obviously, if your profile gets bigger, and I'm sure No Limit will be fantastic in promoting you, it obviously means bigger dollars for the skyrocket.
Well, that's the plan. I'm not doing this for free. So.
No, but with your love of boxing is obvious. But
Yeah.
if you can put dollars in the bank and look after your wife, I'm sure that's a driving factor.
Mate, that's a huge driving factor. I think with any boxer, it's seeing those big paychecks and one day having the biggest fights, bringing the biggest fights to Australia and having people come watch the fight is pretty cool. So, yeah, I just want to bring huge fights. That's my main goal.
Well, who do you want? Sorry to interrupt. Who do you want?
I don't know yet. I haven't even really looked at the middleweights like properly. I know the top 5. They're getting a bit old, like Janabek, Charlo, who else? Eubank. I'm looking at the next wave that's coming through, which is like Amo Williams, Hamza Shearers. I don't even know any. Like I can't think of any more, but I think they're the biggest threat in that division. Carlos Adames too. They're the fights I'm looking at.
Will we ever see a? Go on, sorry, mate.
Go on.
Will we ever see Zoo versus Mateo? They're not far off in weight.
I mean, if I don't know. I mean, if that fight presented itself, like
Do you know how I see it, Mateo?
Pardon?
You want to know how I see the current scenario and things playing out?
What do you see?
I think he's passing over the torch, mate.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
That's what I firmly believe. That's what when I heard No Limit signed you, I said this is the path forward. The path forward is the next biggest name in our country will be Mateo Tapia. Yeah. Based on what I've seen in the past, based on what I've heard in boxing circles. So, mate, you've got a very bright future. We'll be definitely supporting you the whole way through.
Thanks, boys.
And just stay focused, mate. Stay focused.
That's all I can do.
And get fun.
I love Tim, and if that fight made sense 8 years down the track, like make a mega fight in Australia, why not? Like, I'm sure Tim would say yes to that too. We've done a lot of sparring.
Why not? It's business. It's not personal.
No, I love Tim, and yeah, I love the whole Zoo family. Nikita's a classic too. He's classic.
What about your Instagram handle? What about all your fans? Where can they get more information on Mateo Tapia?
Well, I only have Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram is just Mateo, my name, .Tapia. I only really go on that. I'm not really too big on social media, which is I try, but it's not the best.
You got to give your fans a greater insight so the sponsors can get on board, and then you can give your fans a greater insight.
I feel like Instagram's the way. That's the only platform.
No limit will fix that for you, mate.
I think they're going to start looking after my media stuff, like posting more videos and something I haven't been good at. So, but I'll get up there.
You only need to be good at fighting anyway, so that stuff doesn't matter, brother.
That's what I pride myself on, is just giving the public great fights, just like the one you guys saw on Wednesday. That was a close fight until the 7th, 7, 8, 9, 10 were my rounds. So I've had it almost pretty close to even by the 5th.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very nice. I'm no bullshit. I think it was like 7 rounds to 3 or something like that by the end of it.
Well, you're 6 foot and you've got an amazing reach, so use it to your advantage.
Yeah, but he had a huge reach.
Well, then it makes it difficult.
He was actually a big boy for a middleweight, just tall and, awkward.
Well, I suppose Sorry, go on.
I think Harry Garside mentioned it was almost like similar styles. Like we were very mirror, because he was commentating. It's just like we were very similar. We had both big right hands. We had good footwork. We had slick. We were kind of slick in a way, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, well, if Tim Zhu is 5'10" thereabouts, and he fought Fundura, who's about 6'5", anything's possible.
Yeah, you don't know what you're walking into these days.
Absolutely,
Yeah, that's
mate.
unbelievable. I don't know how he makes that weight, but
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But anyway, I mean, Mr. Mateo, you've been amazing, mate. Thank you so much. We appreciate you
no, thank you, boys.
sharing all these great stories with us, telling us your story, and taking the time to actually talk to us, because that's what we feel needs to happen. We feel that these stories need to be told.
Yeah,
That the general boxing audience needs to hear these stories, so they know who Mateo Tapia is. So you're not the best unheard of boxer in Australia.
yeah, I can start getting heard of now.
Yeah. Hey, Mateo, before we let you go, what do your mates call you, or what's your nickname? What do you like to be known as?
Just Mateo. I've
Yep.
got a few names. Well, one mate calls me Caesar.
Yeah. That's your name, though, isn't it, right?
Yeah, my name's Caesar Mateo, but all my life I've gone Mateo. So, yeah, I was meant to be called Mateo, and my dad, as soon as I was born, he just like snuck in the room and changed a name.
Caesar.
Put his name on the front and kept the history going.
Yeah.
Go.
So when you're in the Daily Telegraph or on Wide World of Sports or Main Event or Stan Boxing or Channel 7, what do you want to be known as? Is it like, the boogeyman or, whatever it is? Just, is there something that you would just want to be known as, or it's simply Mateo?
No, my nickname is called El Tijuanero, which means like the kid from Tijuana, like being proud to be born from there. And yeah, I've got it tattooed on my back, so it's my nickname.
Oh, wow. Well, can you say it again for all your fans?
El Tijuanero.
All right, Ahmed, put that in the record books.
I'll take one arrow.
We'll make you famous.
Is that right, mate? All right, legend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, boys.
Any parting words, brother? Any parting words, last words, like to tell Australia?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on here, and yeah, it was awesome.
All right, then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tony.
Enjoy the coffee, Mateo.
We'll catch everyone on the next episode.